It's Brad's laboratory. It's kinda crazy and a little bit weird, but it's gonna be awesome sauce, cause it's Brad's laboratory.
Okay, one thing I noticed is over the slide out here on my RV, there is a rain gutter, and it's got these little spouts. And so on the pop downs for the tents, I was noticing, for the sleeping tents, I noticed they didn't have these little spouts, so I bought them. They were fairly inexpensive, and we're just going to put them on today. Okay, the first thing we do is we get in here with a putty knife and clean some of the old putty out. You can see there's some water in this one. So the gutters are working. But you know, if there's a really hard rain, I want that water to go someplace besides down into the crack. There you go. And once you get the putty knife under it, go ahead and jam this guy in there. Okay, I got her jammed in. There's a little peg here that comes up. You put that at the bottom, get that lined up, and then we'll just get in here and we'll caulk this all the way around. Okay, this side where it's been leaking the worst, I'm noticing this is not caulked at all under here, whereas the other ones were. So this could be part of the problem on this side. There, that's better. It's right where I want it. Now I'll go ahead and caulk the whole thing. Alright, there she is, all caulked up. The next thing that bothered me was the factory seal that seals up these pop downs is way down inside of here. And so what happens is the water gets inside there and runs down to the hinges where that's where the leaks are happening. So the seal needs to be outside here to keep the water from getting into there in the first place. In this clip you can see the water staining from how the water's been getting in there, and then that runs down and gets in the hinges where it naturally gets into the insides of the camper. This is the weather stripping I chose to use to prevent this water from getting in, and I just cleaned the pop downs with some isopropyl alcohol that I got. Okay, next I applied the weather stripping after everything was nice and clean. And I made sure that I did this so that there were no gaps in the corners, so that if any water gets down in there, it flows around the corner and follows the weather stripping down. As you can see, I had to cut and splice this, so I made sure the splices were not where it was going to leak. I think it looks pretty good. Next, I used a plastic tool to make sure the weather stripping was securely adhered to the camper. The last thing I did on this step was to caulk the corners. I really worry about the corners and water getting in the corners. I used 3 packs of weather stripping, and this is all I had left. At this point, I attempted to put the doors up just to see how well the weather stripping was going to seal the doors. The bottom was good, but the top still had a large gap. It was really bad at the very top. So that brings us to step 3, tightening it up. The rubber pads on the door latches get compressed over time. This causes the door not to seal correctly. My solution to this problem was to buy some rubber washers from Lowe's. These are about 1/4 inch thick, and I'm just going to glue them on. I decided to use contact cement. Contact cement requires both surfaces to be prepped and glued, and then wait 15 minutes to allow the glue to dry, and then put the two surfaces together. Here I used masking tape to keep the glue from getting all over the camper, and then I made sure I peeled the masking tape off while the glue was still wet, and the rubber washer gets a coating. After 15 minutes, the glue is dry and you can assemble the two pieces together. Push down firmly and seat the two glue surfaces together. This will be bonded and watertight for good. Step 3 was going to be my final step, but I still wasn't happy with the top seam of the door. So I added on step 4. I went back to Lowe's and I bought this trim that's made to go around the door frame of in your house. I removed the screws across the top that hold the hybrid frame in, and then I attached the new weather stripping. I had to pre-drill holes in the plastic part of the weather stripping to get it in there, and I jammed it in there pretty tight. I reused the screws that were there and just reused the holes and match drilled the weather stripping. Here's a view of it completely done on one side, all screwed in. Looks pretty nice. And the finished product I was pretty happy with.
Okay, so this storm is what's left of Hurricane Rosa once it made it to Colorado. I haven't looked in the camper yet to see if my leak proofing has fixed it or not. But you can see this guy here, there's water dripping off of him. So that's getting water away. And I have that bead there that is keeping water from going down in the top. And then I put the bead all the way around to keep stuff from going down inside. So let's go inside and see if we got any leaks. Okay, there's the weather outside. Now we're inside the camper. Let me get some lights on here. Have to move this bed, but I don't see any water down in there. But let's move this bed and get right back to you. Okay, here we are. Oh, no water. No water in there. This would always get wet down in here before. No water there. No water over here either. I know that's kind of hard to see with the camper popped together, but it's nice and dry there now. We'll check the back one too. It's going to be a little more difficult to get to, and I gotta slide the slide out so we can get in there. Okay, the mattress is out. Going in here, it's a little dark. See if I can figure out how to turn on a light. I got my light going on my phone. And again, there's no water in here. It's completely dry. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach back in that side. I'm not that skinny. So, I think I got her fixed. Hi, Brad here. Thanks for stopping by my channel and watching this video. If you don't mind clicking the subscribe button down here, I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out with YouTube and it's free for you. Also be sure to leave comments and questions in the comment area. I'm always happy to answer those questions. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next video.